The building I'm standing in front of took 137 architects to build. Well, that at least was the number who submitted their plans in a bid to win this prestigious commission. The eventual winner in 1868 was Alfred Waterhouse, an up-and-coming architect who went on to build the Natural History Museum in London. It took 9 years to complete, 14 million bricks, and when the time came to open it in 1877, Queen Victoria refused to attend. Well, this wasn't Manchester's first town hall, of course. Its original neoclassical town hall in nearby King Street would no longer do. Manchester needed an administrative centre that reflected its sense of purpose, its confidence, its sense that it was a centre of massive prosperity, but also radicalism. Now, there are an awful lot of challenges if you want to build a neo-Gothic building in Manchester, because Manchester is not exactly a city full of natural light. In winter, it sometimes hardly ever seems to break into day. So Waterhouse had to make some really clever, careful, strategic adaptations. So take these windows, for instance. Now, if this were a real Gothic cathedral, these stained windows would be immensely rich jewel tones. The sun would hardly get through and you would have an amazing kaleidoscope of colours on the stone floor here. Waterhouse can't do that. If he did that, we'd be kind of fumbling around in the dark. So what he does is have virtually transparent windows, and the stained glass is extremely light. He references Gothic cathedrals, but he actually makes it work for Manchester. And the same thing happens up here. Skylights are not exactly associated with Gothic cathedrals, but Waterhouse didn't mind, anything went. So here what he's done to get more natural light in again, he's got this amazing skylight roof. As far as I can tell, each window belongs to a council member, and it goes right the way through to 2003. But what you also get again, of course, is the ubiquitous cotton flower. Lest we forget, it's cotton which has built this magnificent building. Well, I'm in the Great Hall, which is the grandest of all the very grand rooms in Manchester Town Hall. It's also the site of the world-famous Manchester murals. Now, these were made by the pre-Raphaelite painter Ford Madox Brown, who moved from London to Manchester for many years to paint what amounts to a kind of pictorial history of Manchester on the walls of this room. Here is one of my favourite paintings. It's the opening of the Bridgewater Canal in 1761. Now, this was incredibly important for Manchester because it was a way of getting goods out of the northwest and into the rest of Britain. It's a sort of carnival. Everybody's incredibly cheerful. Not to put too fine a point on it, they're actually pissed. The Duke of Bridgewater, whose canal it is, famously teetotal, but for some sort of naughty schoolboy reason, Brown decided to paint him having a tipple. Okay, and from here we go on to John Kay, who is the inventor of the fly shuttle. Now, this was the first time that what had been a handcraft industry now became mechanised, and this was kind of the lift-off point for Manchester in the Industrial Revolution. Through the windows you can see revolting peasants, literally people with pitchforks, who are saying, this machine will put us out of work. Brown, again, knows exactly what he's doing. He's giving us a gorgeous, beautiful piece of pre-Raphaelite art. It's full of incident, life and detail, but he's also saying something quite specific about the history of Manchester. I love Manchester Town Hall because it's a building that absolutely understands its place in history. It knows that it's not at the beginning of a story and it's not at the end, but it's right in the middle. Now, all over Manchester Town Hall you'll find these honeybees. The city adopted them as a symbol because honeybees are all about teamwork, busyness, productivity, and they create this extraordinary rich sweetness. So it's a brilliant symbol for this city.